What's up, guys? Welcome to the Stats Free Sports channel. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about Joe Mixon's possible replacements. So, as of last night, breaking news happened about Joe Mixon, some not so nice things. Then, right after that, probably about an hour later, after news broke, from what I seen, it wasn't distributed as much and it wasn't talked about as much as it should be. But Joe Mixon's lawyer came out and said charges were going to be dropped. It's miscommunication, stuff like that. So I'm not sure what's going to happen with Joe Mixon. His reputation, as his lawyer said, probably has been stained from the situation. So whether it's true or not, we don't know. But charges has been dropped. That's via Joe Mixon's lawyer. So, but even before this news happened, it was a potential, and I was going to do a video on it as well of Joe Mixon being a potential cap casualty. I think it could have been happening. I think it could have been happening regardless if this would happen or not. But this might have, stained him anyways. It might have made it, stamped him being cut. So let's talk about it. Joe Mixon. I have 5 replacements for him, and some are free agents, some are rookies, and this is my personal list. My personal list from first option to last option. This is in order of how I would like to see the Bengals possibly replace Joe Mixon if they choose to let him go. So, and before we start the video, just so you know, the Bengals do have the 29th overall pick in this year's NFL draft, which they can trade up from. But this video, they don't need to trade up. I think they'll be just fine where they're at, honestly. So let's get into it. My number one option to replace Joe Mixon is Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt, a free agent. Another troubled back. They had a troubled past with messing with females and stuff. But he's been on the straight and narrow since maybe 5 years ago now. His incident went on. So, bringing another trouble back might not be the best thing for PR right now. But Kareem Hunt is very talented. He's been behind and with and behind at the same time Nick Chubb with the Browns the last couple of years, and I think he's ready to break out and get his own squad, be number one of a running back group. I think Kareem Hunt. There are some bigger names, some younger guys that's on this list, but I think Hunt would be the cheaper option, and he'll give you just as much impact as some of the other guys will. Number two, Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs most likely will not be retained by the Raiders. It's not a guarantee yet. We're not quite sure. But as of the last time we've seen Josh Jacobs talk, he's not a fan of the Raiders. And last time we've heard McDaniels, the rumor from McDaniels about Jacobs, he wasn't the biggest fan of running backs paying him long term. So I think there is an opportunity for Jacobs to come back to the Raiders. But I really think he'll test the market, and they'll let him test the market, and I think he will go somewhere else. The Eagles are a threat to get Josh Jacobs. A couple teams, the Ravens. So there are teams that will compete for him, but I definitely think the Bengals should give a look at Josh Jacobs. Um, Probably somewhere around the price of probably about $10 million per year, somewhere around that range. That's not that bad. That's about the same price as a franchise tag for running back. I think the franchise tag is like 10.9 million, 10.1 million, somewhere around that 10 point something range. So that's not too bad. That's about the average right now for a top running back. So that's not too bad. Number three, you have the big dog Saquon Barkley, probably the best running back of the 5 I'm going to mention, but Barkley is definitely on this list. And like I say, he's probably the best option. I just think he might price himself out of the Bengals, who the Bengals do have a lot of cap space. The cap space number has been set in stone now. The Bengals are number, I think, 3 or 4. They have around like 56 million, some or 40, either 56 million or 46 million, something like that. I forgot the number now, but somewhere around that number to play with. Especially if they cut Mixon, they're gonna have plus 7.5 more million. So they got nice money to play with. But don't forget, they do have to extend Joe Burrow pretty soon. That's why I thought prior Joe Mixon could have been cut. Also, Tyler Boyd, I think, is in danger of being cut also. But back to Saquon, I think he priced himself out. He will price himself out of a few teams. He's very valuable, but like he said himself, he's been hurt for dang near 2 years. So for him to turn down $12 million from the Giants, I'm confused. I guess he wants McCaffrey money, which is 14 million. That's tough. That really is tough for me, honestly. I really think though, if Barkley reaches the open market, I think his value might drop a little bit. I really do. I don't think he's gonna get more than 12 on the open market. I really, really don't. I really do. I hope my Falcons don't pay him pay him more than 12. If we do try to get him, I don't want to pay him over 12 million. I really, really don't. I think 10 to 12 will be fine. I will lean towards 10 to 11, really, but 12 is a little high for me. So I'm surprised the Giants offered that much. So the Bengals could pay 12 million, but they do have a little bit of holes here and there. They don't want to throw it all on one back. That's why I have Kareem Hunt and Josh Jacobs above Saquon, but definitely, excuse me, Saquon is a better option of the two prior. Number four, kind of a sneaky guy, Miles Sanders from the Eagles. Now, as I said earlier, Josh Jacobs, Kareem Hunt, both are available in the options for the Philadelphia Eagles. They had a cap space. They could definitely sign one of those two guys. Miles Sanders standing with the Eagles is kind of iffy in my opinion. He's not really needed. But he's a good back though. He's a good back, but he's not really needed there. They're by committee for the most part. Or they could even draft Bijan Robinson or Jameer Gibbs in this year's draft class, which they definitely could do. They have a bunch of first round picks, so that's definitely possible there. So, yeah, it's definitely possible that they could get rid of Miles, or not get rid of him, but let Miles Sanders walk, and he could be a free agent and test the open market. I would like the Bengals. I think that'll be a great spot for him to really be a number one guy. That'd be a good spot for Miles Sanders to prove his worth on another Super Bowl contending team. And my last option will be a rookie, and no, it's not Bijan Robinson, Jameer Gibbs. The Bengals are at right now currently and are set in stone at pick 29. I think that's the perfect spot for Jameer Gibbs. As I've been saying all off season, well, not off season, but all postseason, I've been doing videos on Bijan Robinson trying to find his value, and I still can't find it yet. I see Robinson going in the top 7. I can see him going top 15. I can see him going somewhere in top 25. I can see him going top 32. Somewhere in the first round, Robinson will go. I'm thinking though, if I had to bet, probably somewhere in the teens. Probably somewhere in the teens. 14, 13, somewhere around there, I think is probably the best value, the best situation for Robinson to go to. A team probably will trade up for him. So I think Jameer Gibbs, who is a first round talent back, in my personal opinion, will be picked in the later half of the first round. Pick 29 to the Bengals is a perfect spot. Pick 26 to the Cowboys is a perfect spot. So some teams out there who do need running backs, that Jameer Gibbs could be available if Bijan Robinson is going earlier in the draft. So we'll see where he goes. But I definitely would like to see Jameer Gibbs be a replacement for Mixon big if Mixon is let go this offseason. So we'll see what happens, guys. But I do want to, say, like I said at the beginning of the video, charges reportedly will be dropped. And that's a message from Joe Mixon's lawyer. So we will see what's going to go on there. But that's it for video, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys next time.